Every job has its challenges. One of the toughest is irregular framing. It can cause your crew to have to spend extra time to get a good job. It can affect the total quality of the work. And during the first year, when the wood tends to contract a little bit, cracks can develop in what looked like a perfect job. There isn't a tape in the world that can withstand structural movement. That's what makes X-Crack in a league of its own. By now, you've probably figured out that the Strait Flex line of products is designed to take the complexity out of getting a good quality job done. And the same is true for the trouble of irregular framing or the problem of cracks that develop over time. That's why we developed X-Crack. This one product, because of its flexible hinge along the center and the patented beer tab designs along either edge, can take the irregularity out of the framing and prevent those cracks before they even start. How can it do that? Well, first of all, because it's strong. It's 24-gauge steel with a G90 galvanization, and it's flexible. But how does that overcome the problem, you say? Let's take a look. We'll find out. Now, here's a typical installation with a pre-manufactured truss that shows how some of these irregularities happen. The chalk line really tells the story. We start off perfect here, but as we move down, we see that gaps have begun to develop. As the truss shows us its own personality, we may be off as much as a ½ inch in some of these places. Other places we're off in more than one direction. This needs furring, it'll need pre-fill, and the fact is, it's a crack waiting to happen. But not with X-Crack. It's easy to work with, cuts very cleanly, and the flexible construction allows the strip to be molded to any angle that you might encounter on the job. See how the overlap helps keep the alignment just where you want it? Now you notice that X-Crack is not only very malleable, it's also very well behaved. It stays right where you put it. And you can see how the screws go run right through those beer tabs to give you maximum flexibility as the wall might tend to shrink or expand over time. That way the strip moves, the wallboard doesn't. And there you have it. Quick, easy, effective, and permanent. With X-Crack, what was crooked is now straight. And this is what it's all about, the finished product. A straight wall, both sections in plane, no need for extensive furring, a wall that the finisher can come in and start to work on right away without a lot of pre-filling, and he can get the job done quickly and done well. And thanks to X-Crack, with its rigid backbone and flexible tabs, it'll stay that way forever. Now here's another common nightmare. We've got a corner to cover. Now we're okay here because we can attach the drywall on this surface to this member right here. But coming from this side, we've got no place to nail that drywall. We're gonna need some help. Hey Harv, send a carpenter over here, will you? Hey, wait a minute, we don't need that. We've got X-Crack. A strip of X-Crack along the corner allows us to attach to the member through the flexible tabs and gives us a surface to attach this piece of drywall. Harv, never mind the carpenter, okay? Now this model shows a simulation of a recently completed vault joint, or cathedral ceiling if you prefer. Looks nice, doesn't it? Well, let's do something we don't often get a chance to do. Let's look at it from the attic side. The fact is, no matter how well constructed that joint is, over the first year, two serious problems can develop and cause cracks in that drywall: rafter movement and truss uplift. Both of them have the same effect. They cause that ceiling member to move, and when that happens, ordinarily, cracks develop in the joint. But that's where X-Crack comes in. Because the patented beer tabs absorb the movement, they let the drywall stay where it belongs. They take all the heat, and the drywall stays put. No cracks, no problems. But notice, the reason for that is that the screws never go into the ceiling members. They always hold the joint in place, but not attached to the source of the problem. That allows the flexibility to take the pressure and leave the drywall where it belongs. I bet you can guess why I'm up this ladder, and it isn't because I like high places. No, we're going to take a look at another common framing irregularity and what a problem it can be. It happens a lot between floors. The upper floor and the lower floor are not lined up just right. Taking anything with a straight edge, like a piece of X-crack, will illustrate that pretty clearly. We're lined up flush on the bottom floor, but on the top, we've got a little bit of a gap. And if we go to the other side of this inside corner, we can see that it's an extensive gap. Now, one piece of X-crack over about a 5-foot range will smooth out the transition and make that difference disappear. Let's take another look at some of the recommended uses for X-crack. Drywall ceiling areas that use wood roof trusses or conventional wood framing members. Intricate ceiling patterns such as TP ceilings in octagonal rooms and butterfly vaults. Areas where framing members are out of alignment. Ceiling areas where drywall is not properly supported. And ceiling areas where movement may occur. What are the features of X-crack? The flexible tabs allow structural movement, independent from the drywall inside corner joint. X-crack straightens uneven roof framing members during installation, and it's pre-drilled for easy installation. The hinged backbone adjusts to all angles, and it remains straight and rigid. Well, we've covered a lot of ground about X-crack, a lot of details. If you have trouble remembering any of them, you can always rewind the tape, take another look. Speaking of taking a look, it's gotten kind of dark outside. I better be heading home. Just remember, X-crack solves many of the common problems you run into on the job. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Oh, and remember, X-crack is guaranteed for life.
For a complete list of Strait Flex products or to request a catalog, call us toll-free at 1-888-747-0220 or visit us at straightflex.com.